G'day, I'm Sam Pettit, and I thought I'd just do a quick video on what I get up to out here in my studio. This is my studio in my backyard. I've got my live room in there and I'm sitting in the control room here. What I did this morning is I've put some drums on an existing track. So I had a young guy called Trent Carroll came in the other day and he's written a song. We tracked the guitars and everything in here. And I just did some really crappy drums because I didn't know the form or anything, so I just did a bit of a cut and paste for him to play along with rather than just the click track. And it was kind of similar to what was going to go on there at the end, but what I did today was I took all those existing drums off and I put some proper ones on there. So I just thought it'd be interesting to show you what I do, how I do it. Hopefully it doesn't suck. And here we go. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I like to make up a little chart to see what I'm doing. Just helps me to learn the song, and then whether you actually take that in while you're playing or whether you've got it memorized by then or not. So what happened is Trent sent me an email of an MP3, just sent an MP3 because he'd already recorded it with a mate of his, I think, had put some drums on it. And the thing about the drums is they were okay, but there was some dogs barking in the background and there was some funny things like that going on, and he wanted to re-record it all anyway. So yeah, he sent me the day before, he sent me the MP3 with the song on it. So the first thing I did was just got out a bit of manuscript paper and just try to write out the form, 4-bar intro, work out the tempo, work out what the verses are, what the choruses are. So I just did that. Just excuse the back of my head there for a sec, but here's the song. And I just got it loaded up into iTunes. Kind of a metallic kind of thing. And so I just went through, found out what the tempo was. It was about 66 beats per minute, I think it was. So there's 4-bar intro. And then I just went through and I just wrote down like just a rough kind of thing about what I was going to do, trying to stick a little bit to what was already there. And just went through and just wrote myself a little road map like that. And as you can see, it's nothing amazing. It's not, everything is not completely charted out or anything like that. It's just, like I said, it's just for me to know where the verses are, where the choruses are, if there's a solo, if there's a bridge, all that sort of stuff. Okay, once I've got my chart to where I'm happy with it, I'll take it in there and play it. And hopefully not too many mistakes. And I think what happens is you go through and you'll find things that you like. That's the best thing about being in a studio is you go play something, you come back, you listen to it, you go play something, and you can really be subjective and you can really knuckle down on what you want to do. Okay, now I've got the drums pretty much how I want them. What I did do is the first take I realised I was playing a crash. It was a 22-inch crash and I was playing that through the chorus part, came back in, listened to it, and it was a little bit too much. So again, it's really good to have a bit of a armoury, I suppose, of gear. And I'm of the opinion that if you don't like the sound of it, then go change it, go re-record it. If you got a sound in your head, try and get it down as you're going. So that's what I did. I think I swapped out the 22 for a 20-inch I think it's a ride, but a really thin ride, and it was just a little bit darker, and it just didn't kind of take your head off as much as the other one. Now I've got that all in the computer, I get in here and I just do a little bit of EQing. I don't go too nuts or anything because this is just the guitars. There's no keyboards, there's no vocals, there's no bass guitar or anything like that. And to me it seems a little bit pointless going through and really going stupid with all of your EQing and compressing and all that sort of stuff. So this is going to get sent to a bass player mate of mine who's going to put bass on it in his studio at home. So I just try to get it so that the snare drum's not taking your head off, and so that the cymbals aren't too loud, or there's not monster reverb or anything silly like that on it. So yeah, I just get it to that point, and then when I get all of the parts and everything on it, that's when we can go and really dig into it and mix it and do whatever you're going to do, master it or whatever it is. So I'm just going to show you one of the little tricks that I like doing. It's got to do with the toms, and so with the toms I've got 4 toms out there, and again they're being played, but those mics are open all the time, so to me they're just adding noise all the time. So you can put a gate on there if you like, but because it's not like a Rush song or something like that where you're going around the toms like crazy, so I like to get in there and I cut anything that doesn't have a tom hit in it in the tom tracks recordings. I take it out. I just get in there and I cut it out, and I'll just show you how I do that. It's pretty simple. Okay, so here I have all of my tracks on here. So kick drum, snare drum, hi-hats, overhead left and right, snare bottom, room microphone, tom 1, 2, 3 and 4. That's all I got. I've got a room, yeah, room mic. Okay, so just go back here. Skip ahead. Okay, so if at this point I'm just going to solo my tom tracks, and I think you'll hear what I'm talking about. So there's all of that noise. You can hear like the bottom of the toms, and you can hear things resonating in that, and so you can see here that's where my first tom hit is. So I just get in there, and these are all highlighted, so I think it's Command T. So Command T, and that should just take all of that out, and then give it enough time to kind of ring out, highlight them again, chop that off. So it's very subtle kind of difference when I play the entire thing. Let's unmute, unsolo these. I can even go a step further. I can see that that's the only tom that got hit, so I'm even going to take those ones out as well and just really clean it up. And so what you find at the end of it is you just find like little bits, just little tiny sort of bits there, and I guarantee you it'll definitely clean up all of your entire drum track. And just go through there and just search for where the hits are, just see if that is actually a hit there or whether it's something that's being picked up. Let's have a listen to that. Now that's interesting. So this bit here, it's picking up that it's a holy crash over there, so because it's right there on top of it. So you just imagine that there's 4 microphones that are open, and it's just amplifying everything else that's going on and just creating noise. So yeah, just take it out. Well, I hope that was interesting and you got something out of it. I might do some more of these. If anyone's got any questions or anything like that, just chuck them in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.